Okay, so now we're going to look at some more rational expressions with fractions. So adding fractions, remember to add or subtract fractions, the denominators must be the same. So this is the basic idea of adding and subtracting fractions. We're going back to, elementary school when we learned how to deal with fractions, right? So you do need to make sure that you understand we have to have like denominators in order to add our fractions. So once the fractions have like denominators, the numerators can be combined. Then the fractions can be simplified. And also we want to review product of power rule. When two powers are multiplied, the powers are added. So that's why we're talking about adding these fractions. So I have two powers here that are being added. They have the same base. So I'm going to add 2 sevenths and 1/2. Well, in order to add those two fractions, I need the denominators to be the same. So you can see that I've changed the denominators into 14. And when I say I've changed them into 14, I haven't really changed the fraction, because what I've done is I went from 7 to 14 while I multiplied by 2, and you can see on the top it went from 2 to 4. So I multiplied both top and the bottom of the fraction by 2 in order to make it 4 over 14. And then to get 2 to 14, I multiplied by 7. So I multiplied by 7 on the bottom and 7 on the top because it went from 1 to 7. So now I have like denominators, and I can go ahead and add 4 plus 7. It gets me 11, and 11 over 14, it cannot be simplified. So that is the simplest answer that I can get. All right, so we're going to look at another one of these. So we're reviewing, this is a power of a power rule. So I said product of a power, so product, I'm multiplying these two together. Well, this one now I have power of a power rule because I have a power here being raised to another power. So it's just kind of review of a few of these different types of exponent rules and the wording that goes with them. So when a power is raised to another power, the powers are actually multiplied. So if I'm multiplying two powers together, like we did in the last one, I add the exponents. But if I'm raising a power to another power, I multiply. So now, when I'm multiplying fractions, that's usually pretty easy. It's 4/5 times 8. I'm going to multiply across the top, and I wish this would have been, a little bit more like this with the fraction, but for whatever reason, my system doesn't want to turn the fraction in a nice order there. It wants to go long ways here. So I'm going to go 4 times 8, and that gets me 32, and that's over 5. So when I multiply the numerator by that whole number that I'm using there. Or if it was a fraction, you'd multiply the numerators and the denominators. And then if you could simplify, you would. So I have 32 over 5, which cannot be simplified. So I'm just going to leave it 32/5. All right, so that is just a couple kind of review of not only, adding, multiplying fractions, but also our power rules that we're starting to use again here. So I hope that helped, and I will see you in the next video.